Okay, the plot of John Wick 1. Keanu Reeves plays John Wick, who at the start of the movie, his wife has just died of cancer. And he's sad about it. And he has like one of those quiet, sad days in his relatively nice house where he's like, fuck, my entire life has changed because the person who I was married to, and very happily as far as we can tell, has like died, and I'm sad. So he goes out and like drives in his car, which is a very nice car, which he likes a lot. He thinks about killing himself with the car, but then doesn't. And he comes home and he gets a package, and the package is the delivery of a small dog, which was his wife set up to have delivered to him after she died because she knew she was going to die. And she's like, hey man, I know you've had a tough life and like our relationship meant a lot to you. Here's a dog so you can like carry on trying on the journey of learning to care about things in people who are not, your past, which is yet to be expounded on.
Did this actually happen to Keanu Reeves?
Maybe. He's lost a lot of people in his life. He's a very profoundly sad person.
But did you see that really sweet clip of him on Stephen Colbert?
Yeah.
Oh, what a sweet
Good
boy.
job, Keanu. So, he gets the dog, and he's all like, oh, I'm slightly awkward with this dog, but this dog's incredibly cute and little, and I'm going to look after it. It's going to be great. So he takes the dog out in his car, and they go out for a drive. He stops at a gas station, and fucking Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I know who that is because I watched an episode.
Alfie Allen, who is playing his usual character of complete shithead, is there being basically a fucking Russian mobster little bitch. And he's like, hey, nice car, I'd like to buy it. And he's like, it's not for sale. He says rude things in Russian, and then John Wick's like, I also speak Russian, shut the fuck up. And he goes home with his dog. And then in the night, he wakes up and hearing sound and his dog barking. He goes to the living room and he gets hit in the head with a baseball bat.
Oh shit.
It's Theon Greyjoy and they're shitty guys, and they beat the shit out of him, and one of them kicks his dog to death in front of him. And then they steal his fancy car. So, we then follow they go to a chop shop owned by John Leguizamo, right? Is it John Leguizamo?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, they go to
Aurelio is the character.
Yeah, owned by John Leguizamo playing Aurelio, and he's all like, hey, where'd you get that car? And they're all like, we stole it off some fucking dude and killed his job. And he's like, get out of my chop shop, I don't want you here.
Is he from Boston?
Kind of, he's got a very specific accent in this movie. And Theon Greyjoy is like, I don't want to leave. How dare you? You don't talk shit to me. You work for you work for me. And he goes, no, I work with your dad. Now fuck off. And he smacks him. And they pull a gun on him. He's all like, fucking do it. I don't give a shit.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's from Boston.
He's the greatest guy in the whole film after
Based
watching
on that
it.
description.
Oh yeah, he's fucking great. And so we then cut to later, and Vigo, Theon Greyjoy's dad, rings Aurelio, and he's like, I heard you struck my son today. And he's all like, yes sir, I did. He goes, why did you do that? He says, well, turns out your son stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And Vigo goes, oh, and hangs up.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Word.
And then he's all like, okay, so he calls his son in and he punches him in the stomach.
In front of Liz Lemon's
boyfriend. Jason. Yeah, Jason from 30 Rock. They're like, what's up, dummy?
The pager salesman.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, him playing like his business partner who's not
Dennis.
Russian. Dennis, that's the one, yeah, not
Word.
Jason. And he's all like, he punches him in the stomach, and he's all like, what did I do? It was just a fucking car! And he goes, that was not just anyone's car, my son. That was John Wick's car. We then cut to a cool montage of Keanu Reeves, like, going down to his fucking basement, looking really fucking pissed off.
With like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, he looks really angry. And Vigo's like, John used to work with us. And the bodies he put in the ground laid the foundation for our empire. He had a nickname, Baba Yaga. It means the boogeyman.
No.
But the thing is, John isn't the boogeyman. He's the man you send when you want to kill the fucking boogeyman. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a fucking pencil.
Okay.
And he's like, this is what you have done. And then, like, we see Keanu Reeves in his basement with the sledgehammer, breaking open the concrete in the ground, and he pulls out a briefcase. And he opens the briefcase, and there's his fucking guns and a bunch of, like, evil underground assassin gold. And then the phone rings. And Keanu Reeves answers the phone in speaker. He goes, John, I heard about your wife. I'm so very sorry. Life's a bitch. Listen, I heard my son killed your dog and stole your car. John Wick does not reply. He goes, John, let's be reasonable. We're both men of means. John Wick hangs up. So he then goes to...
And then his son goes, what did he say? And he goes, enough.
Like, it's fucking great. This movie's really, really... Like, I would highly recommend watching John Wick 1. It's a great movie.
It sounds good.
So...
I think I prefer you recounting.
So he goes and meets Aurelio, and he's all like, hey, they took my car, and he's like, yeah, your car's gone. Here's another car, John Wick.
That actually happens earlier in the film.
Oh, yeah, I'm slightly out of that. So John takes his stuff, and he goes to, the Continental Hotel.
Vigo sends a bunch of assassins to his house.
Oh, yeah, and John fucking kills everybody.
Kills all of them.
Word.
A policeman turns up, sees the bodies, and then goes, hey, John, you back working again? And John's like, just for a bit.
No, he goes, oh, I'm just taking care of some stuff. And he goes, okay, and just walks the fuck away. John then calls the cleaner, and these dudes come and they clean the entire apartment, take away the bodies. It's like it never existed. They're like, nice seeing you back, Mr. Wick. With the tip of the hat.
Why does it look so cool with him being like an assassin?
Because he's John Wick.
Because you're gonna find out, like, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, there's something.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
Assassin. What? Why?
Yeah. So then he gets into the new car that he got from Aurelio, and he drives into central Manhattan and goes to a place called the Continental Hotel.
Okay.
And he walks up and he's all like, hello, guy from American Gods who played Thoth. What's that guy also
I
in?
don't know.
He's in a bunch of things.
He's in loads of things.
Yeah. And he's like, welcome, Mr. Wick. Are you here for business or for pleasure? He goes, business. and he hands him one of the gold coins. And he's all like, okay, cool, you can stay here. And he meets, there's other people who are like, nice seeing you again, John. And he's all like, what's her name?
Miss Perkins.
Miss Perkins. And he's all like, ugh. And he goes into the basement where there's a cool jazz bar with cocktails. And he goes and talks to Zeus from Odin from American Gods.
What's his name?
He's also in lots of fucking things.
Played Blackbeard in the worst Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh fuck, he did, didn't he? A good actor. And he's all like, hey, I think I'm kind of back a bit. No, he's all like, I want to get revenge on Vigo's son. Can you give me any information? And the guy's all like, well, as a member of the Continental Brotherhood of Assassins, we can help you a little bit. Yes, he's going to be at the Red Circle. We then cut to this fancy nightclub where shitty Theon Greyjoy is in a hot tub with a bunch of hookers and his other friends, drinking champagne, being like, oh, they're trying to keep me safe here, but I don't even believe that John Wick is a real badass. Fuck him. We're just going to get drunk. And then the actual real mobster's like, you need to shut the fuck up. You were fucked up so badly. Like... don't talk. Fuck you.
He's like, you're a baby, you're a child, and takes away a champagne bottle, and then he's like,
bring me another bottle!
Bring me a bottle! And it's like, haha, that's like, he's a baby.
He's like a shit baby.
Like a shit baby.
So John Wick turns up, and he ghosts up behind this guy who's guarding the door, and they have a conversation in Russian, which I really fucking love. He's all like, Christoph, and he's all like, Mr. Wick, and he goes, you're looking very good. He's like, yes, I have lost 30 kilograms. And he goes, tell me, Mr. Wick, are you working? He goes, I'm afraid so. Why don't you take the night off? And the bodyguard just goes, yep, pulls his earplug out, just walks the fuck away. We then get, in my opinion, the best sequence in the film, which is just John Wick ghosting through this place, murdering the shit out of people, and the soundtrack is amazing.
Soundtrack's amazing. It shows that, like, guns can only look cool in John Wick films.
Yeah.
Oh, Morton said that guns are very, like, important.
And,
like, prominent.
What they do with gunfights in this movie is incredible. It's like, the reason I watched John Wick 1 is I heard, when it was just coming out, someone says, it does for gunfights what The Raid did for Kung Fu movies. And I was like, okay, that tells me entirely what that is meant to be. And it's like, it's just him fucking people up and being rad. and he bursts into the hot tub room to chase down Theon Greyjoy, who runs away in a towel, being like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna die!" Bursts out through the nightclub, runs through the crowd, and then there's like more dudes, and they're all going after John. It's like, oh fuck it, and he ends up like, you know, getting body slammed off a ledge, and like pulls this guy by a beard and shoots him in the head and stuff. It's fucking crazy. Theon Greyjoy gets away in a fucking car, and John's all like, "God damn it, I lost it." Meanwhile, Vigo has contacted Willem Dafoe.
Of course, Willem Dafoe's in
Willem
this.
Dafoe is having a whale of a time, and he's all like, "If I asked you to kill John Wick for, was it $3 million?
It's only $2 million.
Oh yeah, $2 million.
Is it?
Yeah, it seems like nothing when you think of how much of a badass John Wick is.
Yeah, it does go up though. Oh, and he's all like, "I'll take care of it," and we're like, "Oh, what's Willem Dafoe gonna do?" And he unwraps this big fucking crazy sniper rifle, and you're like, "Oh shit." So he goes. Does he go? He goes back to the Continental at this point.
Goes
isn't
back to the Continental.
Yeah.
And
And
it's an open contract on John, so anyone
Okay.
can kill him.
No, it's not open contract yet.
It's like
No,
the
it
Wild
is.
West.
Is it open?
Yeah, it says to defer that it's an open contract.
Oh, okay, yeah,
which
sorry.
is,
Can I use these?
and yeah, of course, and that and then he doesn't say it to defer, but then later on he says over the phone, that I'll double the contract
Yeah.
to anyone who's willing to break the rules of the Continental.
That's the one, yeah. So one of the rules of the Continental is that because they're all assassins there, they can't do assassin business on hotel property.
Oh.
They can't kill each other, they can't, you know, do anything apart from like chat or whatever. This will be very significant in the second film as well, just making sure you're aware of that.
Okay.
John gets the doctor to come and see him, who takes a couple of bullets out of his body, because he's been shot a couple of times, but he's still like, ugh. And he's like, "I've still got stuff to do." And the doctor's like, "Well, I've stitched you up. Here's some of this. If it starts to hurt, it means you've torn your stitches again, so don't do that. Limited movement, please, John." The doctor leaves, and then John immediately gets jumped by Miss
No,
Perkins.
he's like, yeah, I don't move, but if you're gonna insist on working, take these will keep you going.
Yeah. So he's like going to have a nap, he's lying on his bed, and we cut to Willem Dafoe, like fucking aiming the gun at him, and it's like, oh fuck, and then he shoots him, and the bullet misses into his pillow. He jumps up just as Miss Perkins is leaping to try and grab him with a fucking garrote wire. They have a fucking punch fight that wrecks the fucking hotel room. My favourite bit, at one point John bags up Miss Perkins in a sheet, and literally fucking swings her against the walls like a cat in a bag.
Fuck.
It's fucking brutal. It's great. And he like ends up bundling her out into the corridor, and this other dude called like Johnny or whatever, I forget, he's not.
Harry.
Yeah, this dude Harry comes out with his gun. He's like, "What's going on, John?" He's like, "Hey, Harry, how would you like to earn a coin?"
Oh, what's great is like John puts up his hands.
Yeah.
And then like Harry's like, "Is that you, John?" He's like, "Yeah." Harry? Yeah. And then like John just relaxes.
Yeah.
And they're just like relaxed there, both in their like bedroom like attire, like just
Little
like
short shorts and vests and shit.
and it's like, this is sweet.
Yeah. And he's all like, "If you watch Miss Perkins, I'll give you an assassin coin." And he's like, "Fucking sweet."
Okay, what do you mean by assassin?
They've got like these gold doubloon looking things, which are like a surrogate currency rather than
They're-
real money.
Yeah.
Okay, but they mean real things.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
they're used in the Continental,
And
and
they're,
I assume other assassinate places.
and they're
shit
worth
that
like
as
a
well.
bitch ton of money.
Okay.
Yeah, it costs like 1 coin just to go into the club.
Yeah.
Or just to have the guy look at your face to see if you can go into the club.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Continental.
Yeah. So, John is then like, "Right, Vigo's hidden his son somewhere and I don't know where he is, so I need to get Vigo to tell me where the fuck his son is. The only way I can do that is to really hurt Vigo in ways that he's not prepared for. I guess I've got to destroy his entire fucking crime empire now." So he goes and scopes out a church, where like people are praying and stuff, and the priest sees him coming, and he's all like, "Bless you, my son," and John's got like a fucking massive machine gun, and he's all like, "You don't need to have that," and John like shoots like 3 people who weren't actually worshippers, they were actually gangsters, and then the guy's like, "No, you can't, Vigo will kill me," and he just goes, "What do you think I'm going to do to you? Open the safe."
No, he doesn't even say that. He just shoots 3 other people around him,
Does
and then
he
looks
kneecap
at him.
him at one point?
I think when he first comes into the building.
Yeah, he's like,
he kneecaps the priest.
Yeah. And then the guy lets him in, and there's a bunch of people in there, like, counting illegal laundered money and shit. And John tells them to leave and just blows everything up. Vigo turns up with an army of dudes who John fucking kills. And he tries to get away. John chases him
They
down.
have a little conversation about the themes.
The themes?
Yeah, well, Vigo has him captured for a moment.
No, we're not there. No, we're not there. We're not there.
Right, you're right.
They have because he chases him down, and then he's all like he like blasted his bulletproof glass with that little fucking shotgun thing, and he's like, all right, John, all right. And he goes, give your son to me. And he's all like, fucking fine. Okay, this is where he is. Fuck you. That's where he is. And John's like, okay, cool. He's like, ugh. He's like, ugh. And then we see basically a montage of like Theon Greyjoy held up in this like warehouse with his friend who's playing like fucking Call of Duty, and like there's all these snipers around everything. We just see them like dying and being like John just taking people out in montage, and then suddenly there's this big like gunshot. His friend dies, and he's like running for it, and there's this fucking brilliant long shot between a couple of like shipping containers, and he's running, and you can just see John walking after him, and he fucking shoots him, and he falls down, and he's like, oh fuck, I can't get away, and all the cars have blown up, and there's fire everywhere, and John's just walking towards him in his fucking suit.
Yeah.
And as he gets closer, like Theon Greyjoy just goes, it was just a fucking dog, and then John just shoots him in the head. Doesn't say a fucking word, just shoots him in the head.
That's why he's a good assassin.
He's a fucking brilliant
Walks away,
assassin.
there's flames, he's walking away, he's not in focus, he's walking away.
It's a fucking brilliant shot. It's so good. So he then goes and talks to Willem Dafoe. And Willem Dafoe's like, hey, I was actually watching your back when I went to shoot at you before because we're old friends, John. And he's all like, yeah, thanks. Okay, I've dealt with Theon Greyjoy. And he's all like, yeah, I guess you'd better leave now because the bounty's still out on your head. And he's like, and he goes to leave, and then it's Viggo goes and like fucking murders.
The bounty's actually been taken off John Wick's head.
Yes.
At that point.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it has at that point.
But
Yes.
Viggo goes to
and,
Willem Dafoe's house.
Yeah, I will say also, while Theon Greyjoy is getting shot, it's intercut with Viggo just smoking an enormous joint in his office, just like trying to fucking cope. So then he goes to Willem Dafoe, and he's all like, Willem Dafoe, it's pretty clear that you were helping John. I'm gonna murder you now. And so he murders him. And then John's all like, I'm gonna get more revenge, because I love it. How does he capture him?
How does he capture Willem Dafoe?
No, how does he capture John? There's that bit where he's going tied up.
Yeah, so after the church bit, an army comes, but John's taken down by a car.
Yeah.
And then Viggo like chats to John whilst John's
Oh,
tied
they
up.
have my favourite line in the whole thing, which is he goes like, he's got him chained to a chair, and they're talking to him, and he goes, Viggo, that wasn't just a dog. That was my one chance at healing, at surviving. And then your son took that from me. Killed that from me! He's like, I'm gonna kill him, Viggo, I'll end you. And he's all like, I'm leaving, fucking kill him. And he has some guys trying to suffocate him with a bag.
Yeah.
And you're like, just shoot him!
Whilst he's tied up.
And then they try to do it, and it doesn't work, so John kills them all with his hands tied behind his back.
Shoots the other people with his sniper.
Yeah,
John
and then John kills the other one with his hands tied behind his back. Is this for Shay? Because I've already got other food.
Oh. Okay. You can have some.
Sweet, I'll have it too.
Yeah.
Lovely. Where were we? Okay, so then he's all like, alright, I'm gonna go get revenge on Viggo. Viggo's trying to skip town and get away on a helicopter with Dennis.
Thank you.
There's cheese.
Yeah.
And they have like a really fucking cool car chase which Keanu Reeves did all of, by the way. One thing I want to stress about these movies,
Yeah, I've heard that.
he trained for like fucking 8 hours a day for like 4 months in guns and driving, and fighting. Keanu Reeves, and he did the same training regime for both films. Like, Keanu Reeves is arguably the most dangerous Hollywood man. Like, he's fucking awesome.
Is he like on Tom Cruise level or even more?
Well, they're different. Tom Cruise is willing to jump off buildings.
Yeah.
John Wick, Keanu Reeves knows actually how to kill a man.
Yeah, 100%. He's fine. He'll do it.
Yeah.
So they have a cool car chase. Like, there's all kinds of great moments of John Wick just fucking dudes up with his car, and then has a gunfight, and then he and Viggo have a fucking knife fight in the rain at the docks, and he ends up killing Viggo. And he goes, "I'll see you in
the important thing is that John so Viggo's got a knife held to John. John's holding him back, by his wrist,
Yeah.
and then John chooses to stab himself with the knife, so then he can get close enough to Viggo to pull out the knife and then stab him in the shoulder.
That's fucked up.
It's fucking awesome. And then we basically, I forgot to mention that the very first shot of the movie is John at the docks in the rain being like, oh fuck, I'm like dying and super fucked up. Let me look at my video of my wife one last time. So we get to that point in the movie where he's looking at his wife. Just a little dusting, I'll take the risk. And then he basically gets up and breaks into a vet's, and that will be nicely, thank you. And treats himself with vet supplies. And then there are all these dogs in cages going, and he walks over to the best dog.
It's the best dog.
And lets it out of a cage and puts it on a leash and just basically like, you come with me now. And it ends with him limping off with this dog.
That's cute.
And that's the whole movie. Recounted in 20 minutes.
I think that's a 0.5
That's a whole other episode.
Boom.
That's a 0.5.
I'll put this up at some point. Ah.